Good evening and welcome to Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Joe Staples. And of course,
hey, why don't you take a camera over there and let me stand like this and you take my picture?
All right, you got your second one, okay? You got your second one.
Hey, man, if I'd have had about this much gas the week before, I'd have had two.
Well,
Squirrel's gathering up some nuts, ain't he?
I'm really worried about next week. He could catch me next week.
Yeah, we'll have to figure
In the way Harvick's running, I don't. He may not. He can keep going with Harvick.
Man, I tell you, it was a fun race to watch. Now, well, I guess we maybe should start off on the truck series.
Oh God, yes.
I cannot believe, and I'm gonna say it right here. I hope
with the millions and millions of other people.
I cannot believe John West Townley won a race. I mean, I know he's won an ARCA race. I know he's won some late model races down to Georgia somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really bad because usually we try to pick out which lap he's going to rack on.
It is. I mean,
and he drove a heck of a race. I mean, think about it.
He did, and I guess we got to give the devil his due. He won a race, and it's not easy to win any of these top tier races.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, even though we probably had some different feelings of him, and he's had a rough go, and maybe he is matured. I don't know. I haven't really seen him much in the truck series to say. He's got some really good people over there working on the car. I will say that.
Well, Athenian Motorsports is who he's driving for, which I think is really his team of their, they're involved with. All the Townleys are, but they've decided now they're going to cut out Xfinity races. They're not going to run any more of those, and they're going to concentrate on trucks with him. Which is, maybe turn all your attention to one thing. It helps. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like you say, he does have good people over there.
He does have really good people over there, but he's had some good opportunities. I think he drove for Childress. I mean, he's drove for
Childress. He's drove for the Wood Brothers. When they had a truck, he was driving their truck. Zaxby's.
His dad.
Is his, yeah, okay. I wasn't going to go there. I was just going to say it's his sponsor.
Everybody knows.
It's his sponsor. And wherever he goes, Zaxby's is going to be the main sponsor on the car.
I mean, I don't remember what the deal was, but I always, when I think about John West Townley, is when he was at Childress, I don't know what happened, but he was parked. And it was mostly for an attitude.
Attitude and the fact he was tearing up some stuff too.
Yeah, and they put other people in and I don't think he came back, if I'm not mistaken.
And then he kind of went away from there after that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so let's just give the devil his due.
Right.
Hopefully this is a new beginning for him. Maybe he'll be more humble and although I mean I'd say if my dad owned a chain of, and I haven't had their food yet. They say it's pretty good.
It is good.
I heard it's pretty good. I could be a real ass myself. But my dad's poor. I grew up in Foundation Park in South Norfolk, so
I'm not gonna go into all that.
But the Cup race was super fun to watch. I mean, I never would have thought that we would sit here and say Jamie McMurray ran fourth, was 11th or 10th in the points coming into the weekend with a 1 or 2 point advantage, and not make the race.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he was unluckily. They ran well. Our old buddy, that's a late model driver, crew chief. I can see him, but I can't think of his name.
Matt McCall.
Yeah, Matt McCall. Calling the shots over there, and those guys seem to have stepped up this weekend.
Well, they were sharp, and really both of Ganassi's cars were really good the weekend.
They did.
But then again, no practice may have played into their hands a lot.
Absolutely.
And they were talking about that the other day, that only 40 minutes of practice is all they've got for the whole weekend. And
but
that may have played right good for them.
Right, the guys that were off and the guys that were on just separated the group. The guys that didn't have time to work on their stuff, but they were after the race. They were showing the points, how tight they were. It was 2 points from 8th to
13th.
13th or 14th.
May have been 14th, but I remember they were at one time they showed 13th.
I mean, 2 points. I mean, it couldn't get more dramatic.
And the tiebreaker is your best finish in the 3 races. Well, Dale Earnhardt beat him because he finished third in this race.
Yeah,
and
that's what won him the race, or what won him into the chase.
The second.
That's unbelievable. That is just totally unbelievable.
Yeah, I never thought it'd have been that many people that close.
And well,
the chase did exactly what it was supposed to do.
We reset again, and here we go again.
We got a 12-way tie for the lead. Hey, but I would tell you what, I was surprised. I expected Jimmy to run better. I mean, somebody's won at Dover 10 times. I mean, he is Mr. Dover. I knew Harvick would run well. I know those guys were very determined. I didn't think they would.
Determined.
That's an understatement.
Was there anybody else on the track? Yeah. I mean, he fell back to 4th one time, and I'm thinking, he may have a little problem getting back to the front. It wasn't no time. He was back in front. I mean, drove right around Kyle Busch.
Yeah. I mean, everybody was running for second.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, and that's got to be scary for the rest of the competition.
Well, that's what they were talking about today on the radio. I was listening to the champions were doing a thing at the Hall of Fame today, or the 12 finalists were doing a thing at the Hall of Fame today. And, they're saying, well, it's the JGR cars and Kevin Harvick. There's nobody else running for this championship as far as they're concerned. And then everybody wants to do all this. Oh, Harvick cheated. His car and he burnt the car down on the, after the race, so he wouldn't pass inspection. That's bull.
Yeah, those guys they figured something out. They found some.
They've been doing this all year long.
Well, they have. I mean, he hasn't led 1,900 laps or almost 2,000 laps. He's led twice as much as the second place guy, and then some.
But what amazed me, and I'm not a real huge Kevin Harvick fan. I like him, but what amazed me is the fact that he was probably the most determined driver. I mean, he knew he had to win to get in, and he knew the only way he was going to win was be up front the whole day. And that's what he did. I mean, he stayed right in the front the whole day.
He really didn't have to win the race to get in it.
Basically, he did. He was 23 or 24 points out.
Now, if he'd have finished second, he'd have been 6 points out.
Okay.
He had to win.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, because all the guys that were in the chase finished up towards the top, and that put him because he was so far back. But
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
If it weren't for bad circumstances, we could be sitting here talking about Kevin winning the first 3 races in the chase.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a real legitimate shot the first race at Chicago. And then last week before Dover, he dominated that race. I mean, if it weren't for literally a few ounces of gas, he'd have won last week.
So he's about New Hampshire,
yeah. And then this week. I mean, I don't know. And it's funny how calm those guys were. We said we were talking earlier that I heard them doing a media conference on phone, and they were asking Kevin and his crew about pressure, and he's like, "This is not pressure; it's racing. Pressure is when you got to take over for Dale Earnhardt Sr. And be launched into the public eye and be take the 3 car over. That's pressure." Yeah. He said, "This is nothing. Yeah. When you do that, this is nothing." And man, I just couldn't believe the calmness. And Rodney Childers, dude, he don't have his heart rate must just be because it don't get excited. He don't, I mean, his excitement might be smile or something, and it compliments Kevin very well, I think.
Yeah, they're good. There's no doubt about it.
Man, those guys.
And Regan Smith won the Xfinity race on Saturday with no practice. That's another one they didn't get any practice, and that was a wild race for not being able to.
Right.
Get any practice and going like they did. Our buddy Colin Cabret won
his first K&N race.
Won his first K&N race at Dover.
With no practice.
Yeah, no practice. And then William Byron won the championship in the K&N series, and we're going to have Kevin Bellacourt on in a few minutes.
His crew chief.
His crew chief for the team,
and those guys have put a clinic on all year.
And they're unbelievable too.
But I was looking at their stats. They're either super hot. He's got 5 top 5s and 4 wins, and the rest of them are like top 10. So it's like either they're like right on it. I forget who finished second. He has like 8 top 5s and 1 win.
Heckard finished second, didn't he?
Yeah, Sky Heckard. Yeah,
Heckard finished. Some of the news from the week also. Ford going to stay with Richard Petty Motorsports for another.
They're supposed to be getting more involvement.
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to because Ford is behind. There's no doubt about that. That part of Ford is behind. The Roush teams and.
Well, everybody gets everything comes from Roush. So I mean.
I
guess not all Fords are because it ain't slowing Penske down none.
The Penske. I think Penske does get the Roush Yates engines. I think they get the Roush Yates engines, but I think they do everything else themselves. Whereas the Wood brothers and Petty and all of them get all their stuff from Childress. I mean, from Roush.
I don't know about Wood brothers anymore. I think all their stuff is.
Well, yeah, that's right. Since Blaney, they're getting all. They're in agreement with. You're right. You're exactly right.
They might as well just be a Penske car with Wood Brothers wrap on it.
Yeah, and you see the car this week? It's going to be really cool this weekend. I forget what the sponsor is, but it's a really cool looking car. So we'll see. We'll see it because we'll be going to Charlotte. We're going to Charlotte.
We're going to Charlotte, Jeff.
Are you really? Dang, got it.
Call from 704-779-000.
Joining us now. Hello, Mr. Bataki. How you doing, sir?
I am doing great. Looking forward to having you come down here for the weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
You know we're excited about it too. We can't wait to get down there. I can't wait to see the mods race. I'm gonna be there Thursday to watch the mods. I love that.
Well, there's some great competitors, coming. Plus, we've got Bert Myers from here in North Carolina, Bobby Neesford Jr., who sat on the pole just recently at South Boston. The last race, he's from Kannapolis, right up the road where Dale Earnhardt's from. And he's been out here. This is going to be a good show. The modifieds are always a fan favorite, and I'm looking forward to some fun there on Thursday. I can't wait for you to be here with us, Jack.
I'm excited. Me and Scott have been sitting here. We've been teasing Joe, who's with us tonight. He can't go, so we've been teasing him. We're going to Charlotte. He's not.
That's right. And I know it's a bit of a trip, but it's great weather. Gas is down to under $2 around the racetrack. And if fans need to get tickets, they can do that. There are people, live human beings that know about racing, that talk about short track racing, that know who your favorites are from your home track. They want to talk to you about tickets for this weekend at Charlotte. And they can go to whereracinglives.com for great hotel accommodations and places to eat. I mean, we make it as easy as we can. I know Langley's got a race Saturday night, and certainly if you're not coming here, DVR the race and get out and go to Langley and support your local short track. But if you can in any way, this night race is going to be a humdinger. The tension is already there. Harvick put a slap on all the field last weekend up in Delaware, and they're already ticked off at that. Now they got to come here and race. It's a night race. They got in front of all their family, all their friends. If the fight doesn't break out before we even go to green, I'll be surprised. And halfway through the race, we have to throw a red flag to get people off each other. This is going to be a humdinger. With the weather so good, everybody's been cooped up. The fans are ready to rock and roll. We got Hunter Hayes. We're going to have Mrs. Belinda, the famous Belinda people.
Yeah.
She's the woman, before we throw the green flag, is going to hang out of a perfectly good helicopter on a hulu-style ring. And the end of the deal, going to pay by death her foot. I can't even believe. No, that's just right above the grandstand in a helicopter. You're not going up there, are you, Jack?
No. No.
Okay, we're not going to ask Jack Dodson up there in the helicopter.
No, you got that right. Not in a.
We got all kinds of stuff going on down here in Charlotte. Folks got to come party with us.
So, what all kinds of things do you have other than the racing situation? I know that, every time at Charlotte, it's a show.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things going on other than right there at the racetrack.
Well, the blessing we have is being right in the center of all these race shops. Less than a mile down the road is Hendrick. A couple of miles across the way, you've got Roush. another handful of aisles, you've got Tony Stewart, and those are the ones that virtually you can see from the top of the fifth tower, the grandstand, out to our west. Then you go to Mooresville, and you can see JR Junior Motorsports. You can see so many of the other teams up there. So if they're wanting to come in for a weekend, a lot of these shops are staying open and having special tours, and our ticket agents are tuned into that. So if you're a fan of Tony Stewart and want to have a shop tour of his shop, you want to go to Casey Kane Racing that has all those dirt cars there, or to Casey Kane Cup Shop, which is Hendrick Motorsports, all those tours are available, but we try to make it an experience for the fans. We know people don't necessarily want to sit at the racetrack all the time. They want to go and see some other things, and these race shops are so beautiful and so welcoming. Joe Gibbs Race Shop, all of them, and we'll help them get tuned in on that, get them a good place to, have some food, some dinner, nice hotels. This community, when they say where racing lives is Cabarrus County, the county that Charlotte Motor Speedway is in, they really mean it. They put the welcome mat out for folks, and whether it's the fan zone that we've got a big fan zone with that new Fanatics display for all the souvenir merchandise. We've got a fan stage that the PRN is going to be hosting with a lot of driver interviews and things like that. And, you can buy a ticket, then go to a massive pre-race party. In our infield, you'll be able to get up close to the stage to Hunter Hayes. There'll be driver Q&As. I mean, we try to do everything that we would want to do as fun. Because there's still a lot of race fans in most of us that work at the track, and we think, hey, what's be cool? I don't know, let's drive there. And we do it.
It is really cool. The way I love Charlotte. I probably have not been to Charlotte very many times, but I love the atmosphere that I have had when I was there. It was unbelievable.
Well, guys, we think we've got this thing dialed in, and the racing's been better. I know Harvick stomped on, but you know what? It's kind of cool to see. And even till the last lap, I wasn't sure whether he was going to pull off that magic. He won here last year when we had that big fight between Kansas and Keselowski.
Yep.
Harvick was the guy I was next to in victory lane. So, he's going to be tough to beat here. Maybe he punches his ticket and then rides on, into the sunset. But these drivers, they're not fun to go to Talladega and have to do it down there.
Yeah, I've heard them say that.
500 miles here will punch their ticket, and they want to get that done.
Yeah, I heard them say today that they would really like to get it this week or next week because going to Talladega is not a place you need to go when you have to win.
Yeah.
No. And when you're sitting in the grandstands here at our race, within a few feet of you is usually a crew member or a shop guy or the neighbor of, any of these people because we all live here. It's hometown. So, you'll look up in the grandstand and there's Billy, he's the fabricator over at the, XYZ team. But hey, there's the stock specialist at the other place. And they've got their wives and their kids the once, twice a year that they can, bring family out and do it. That's what, this place turns into. And you could be sitting there talking right to one of the specialists from the shop of these teams that you like. And that's another part of the things that we always hear from the fans. Oh, I met this guy. I told him I didn't like so-and-so, but he still talked to me, and that's the shop he was at. And, they understand the family and the community and what it is like to be here where racing lives at Charlotte Motor Speedway for one of these events. It's unlike any other that fans can go to.
Yeah, Lenny, did they have you out there painting the pit wall pink?
I was there, but they know that I'm more of a paint spiller and a paint footer honor myself. So, wasting paint wasn't the deal. That was such an important event. A lot of us, myself included, my mother had breast cancer, and a lot of us have been touched by this. And we want to share in breast cancer awareness, early detection, and staying on it is the way. The percentages go up so high. Please get any of your friends, your relatives, anybody that's involved, please make sure that their exams are on a regular basis and that there's early detection. That's what this whole pink thing is about, saving lives.
Now, who is the favorite over there on the little short track for the Better Half Dash?
Last year, Kristen Yaley put it to him, JJ's wife, and she has looked good in the limited practice we have. Wendy Venturini's been good. David Strumey's wife, Ashley has been good. I think they're probably the three best. But Blake Cook's wife, I believe her name is Stephanie, has kind of stepped up a little bit. She may throw in there in the mix if those other three get to, gouging at the eyes, pulling their hair, and wrecking each other. We may see Miss Cook scoot up there and pull this one out. They be the kind of the handful of the racers that I believe will be up front the better half dash this coming Thursday as part of Bojangles Pole Night.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that because I've heard so much about it for the last few years, and I'm actually going to get to see it this year. That's really cool. I want to see what goes on. That's really great.
It's a lot of fun, and it raises money for the motor racing outreach, which does a good job of spreading the good word, taking care of racers and race crew members and families that are out on the road week after week while we get to watch them at the track. They get to experience, their services and such at these racetracks, and it's a great way to give back. And each of these drivers also races for her personal charity, and that's a great way to raise 11 racers, so that's 11 different charities that will be impacted in a good way by the donations that will be a part of the Motor Racing Outreach's Better Half Dash this coming Thursday at Charlotte.
Now, y'all do a lot for the military. I know I wasn't here for the 600 a couple years ago when the cable fell, and man, y'all must have brung in I don't know how many military people. I think y'all had it was like 6 to 12 buses. Do y'all bring them around the racetrack before the race started? And I mean that's pretty cool because Charlotte seems to be a great show, and the atmosphere around the racetrack compared to some others seems to be a little more plush.
Well, plush, but still genuine to the roots of what Bruton Smith saw back in the late 50s when he was looking to build the racetrack, and it was still just hard racing and excitement. I know a lot of times we do put on all the glitz and glamour of a Hollywood event. We like that. That kind of shows up good, but so good bare knuckle racing is never a bad thing either. And as the track's gotten worn, it got a little bit more bumpy. These drivers, they try a little bit more, and the teams have to work a little bit more. And with the chase race on a Saturday night, this thing ought to, be a bare knuckles deal as well, with a little bit of flushness, like you say. That kind of works in good.
Yeah, and then the modified race. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look to see what the points are, but I know just a few weeks ago before. I'm drawing a blank, but South Boston. That those guys. I mean, it was like 6 to first was like 12 points. I think. I'm not sure what it is now, but that's a tight points battle, and I think Andy is working on a second championship there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Andy Seitz, not only working on a second championship, but a second anniversary, or actually a first anniversary.
That's right. That's right.
So that was young love at the racetrack, but you can't count out Ron Hosel. We're not sure whether Priest is coming or not. I've heard there are 20. What's the fellow that's over by you that is such a good modified racer? Bertucci? Am I correct with that? There's a guy that runs Langley and the East Carolina that is very good. And
that's it. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Bertucci.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he is on the list, but not confirmed or something like that. We've got 19 or 20 that'll be great on that quarter mile, and it's always tricky to see them have to transition. 1 and 2 on the quarter mile are different than 3 and 4, because 1 and 2 you're dropping down from the slight banking of the front stretch onto the very flat corner number 2, which is the reverse pit road, and 3, and then back up with a bump. It's not an easy deal.
Well, I think that's going to be fun. I think Thursday. I mean, even for pole night, Charlotte puts on a great show even for pole night. I mean, with the modifieds and the better half race and all the practice and the qualifying with the cup cars, I think it's really cool.
Well, we can't wait to have you guys there. Appreciate you, all the coverage and support you do, not only of our track, but of Langley, East Carolina Motor Speedway, and so many of the home tracks that need these fans to continue to support them throughout the year. We love it when they take a vacation and come to Charlotte Motor Speedway. But as I said earlier, great folks at Langley are going to have a race this Saturday night. And if for some reason the plans don't let you get get off work at time to come to Charlotte. DVR race, it'll be a great one. You won't want to miss it watching it, but get in those grandstands and support the good folks at Langley any chance you get as well, because they do such a good job over there, and they're one of NASCAR's home track.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. It's gonna, you can bow out of it if you want to, but
I don't usually bow out of it. I may wiggle through it, but I won't bow out.
All right, well, I'm gonna ask you who your pick is for this race this week. We've been doing a thing between the three of us about picking a winner every week, and plus our chase races. So I'm gonna ask you as a guest for this week, who's your pick to win at Charlotte this week?
Well, I love to watch Kyle Busch come to our racetrack and take things apart and put them back together and really make a show. But a lot of times it just doesn't seem to work out for him. I saw Harvick be so dominant last week that I find it hard to put together 900 because it's putting Dover a 400 or whatever Dover was plus our 500. However the math goes, and I can't count that high to begin with. However that goes, that Harvick could do it 2 weeks in a row. He may prove me wrong, but he's as good as they get right now. But I can't double him back to back. So I'm going to go with a guy that punched his ticket by gas mileage, but is still really strong and always does well at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'll throw mine towards Matt Kenseth.
He's pretty good at Charlotte. He's really good there.
Well, any of the JGR cars, I mean, those guys are hot too.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people were talking on the radios, on the other radio stations and stuff about it's JGR and Kevin Harvick basically for the championship is the way they see it.
They're probably not too far off, but if Jeff Gordon's still alive in the chase, he's going to be a factor at some point, and you just can't count out any of them. And I'll tell you this, speaking of a Hendrick driver, the guy that does phenomenally well at our track, who is outside the chase at this point and has been for a long time, but could use a good run, might be Casey King.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's going to win it or not, but Casey seems to have something that really works at our racetrack. And, lo and behold, he could get in there and throw a wrench on a lot of it.
You got that right. He can make a statement for his season next year.
Yeah, he needs it.
He needs it bad.
He does. He definitely does. And, I got to throw a shout-out to a short tracker at Hart, David Reagan. I'd love to see him be able to put together a good race, start getting some of the attention for not only the quality race driver, the quality human being and representative of any company that he is. He's another good one, and I don't know whether he's going to be able to put the matches together this coming Saturday, but he's one that I always enjoy being around and watching.
Yeah, I would like to see him do really well, and I'd like to see him get a good ride next year and become, because I think if you put him in good equipment, he's going to show you something down the road.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that ought to be good Friday night for the Xfinity Series is always fun. You've got Chris Boucher, a ex-Legends kid, running up front, and ex-Legends kids seem to be winning championships all over the place. If Boucher can close his deal out, he'll join William Byron, who was racing with us the summer shootout just last year, in the K&N Series now. And then I don't know how much you guys have been following the Lucas Oil Dirt Series, but Jonathan Davenport, the hottest thing going on that, he just won the championship in the 90s. He was a Legends kid. So we've got maybe Zach Lightfoot will eventually end up being a champion somewhere in one of these things too.
Yeah, hey, I like that kid. He's something else too.
Yeah, he really is a nice kid.
He is. We follow him and cheer on the good guys like Zach that are out there promoting the sport, building things up. And I saw that he was on some of the regional television over there. Mm-hmm. And we as racers always have to remember that if your neighbor hasn't been to a race, the person down the street that you see maybe at the coffee shop or at services on the weekend, invite them to a race. Let them see and experience what we all love, and try to make them race fans. A lot of times we'll air our internal squabbles to the football and baseball fans, and they think, why would I want to go out to a racetrack? Say nice things to them and see if we can pull in a few more. Building this sport that we all love is never a bad thing to do.
You got that right. I agree with you totally. Well, Lenny, we're going to let you go. I know you got a busy week ahead, a lot of things going on, and we can't wait to come down and be a part of it this weekend. So hopefully we'll see you real soon.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Y'all let me know when you get to the racetrack on Thursday, and we'll see you at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And fans can, again, go to charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, information, shop tours, about anything we've got. We'll be able to help you out with, and we're pretty much going 18, 20 hours a day. So we look forward to hearing from the fans of the racing show here, and we'll see you guys in a couple of days.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It is going to be a great show, and they do a great job out there. I was looking earlier, and there's shop tours going on Friday before racetrack activity starts, and there's a bunch of different shops you can go to right from the racetrack. They'll take you there and come back. It's about 3 hours altogether.
Yeah.
And on Saturday they're doing that. So it's a neat experience. You can just go there. You don't have to worry about going anywhere. You can park at the racetrack. They will take you and go tour these places and come back and bring you back to the racetrack. So it's pretty neat. And they always put on a great show.
They're always always got something.
The pre-race entertainment is always great.
And they got Hunter Hayes this year, and I'm not really a big Hunter Hayes fan, but I mean that's a big deal. A couple years ago, Lee's first year in Charlotte, they had Brooks and Dunn.
Oh God!
And that was a blast. And then a couple years ago, since then they had Montgomery Gentry, and that was a good show. And of course, they Jeff and them were real close to Montgomery Gentry and that group, so both of those guys got to go up and be behind the stage with them and talk with them.
That's pretty cool.
And we got to hang out up there with them too, and it was really cool. I mean, they really put on a great show.
One of my favorite at Bristol, I went to the Bristol race, and they had Hank Williams Jr. And that was pretty cool to stand there right beside the stage and watch him, because he's such a legend in the country music, and he's a rebel / great country singer, and that was pretty cool.
All right, now we're going to get Madeline Crane on the phone, hopefully. Seems like when we do stuff like this, it seems like we end up not.
What do you mean we? You get screwed.
Are you not part of this?
Depends on if it's going good or not.
Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Is this Madeline?
Hey, Mike.
Is Madeline Crane there?
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please
That
try
was
your
their
call again later.
voicemail thing
Bye.
trying to get you. That was good. Madeline, that was good.
I didn't know who I was talking to there for a minute.
It was a recording. I've had some people do that. They'll be like, hello, hello. It's just their recording. Yeah.
I was getting a little excited there for a minute. I'm glad I didn't cuss him out.
I had a guy that was a serviceman, and of course the only time you ever called him was when you needed something, right? And that's how his voicemail was. Hello, hello, and you bugged down.
Miss Madeline, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Okay, this is Jack Dodson with Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News. I got Scott Allen and Joe Staples here with us.
Now, look, we love your voicemail.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure who I was talking to when that voicemail come up. They were laughing, and I was getting pretty upset with him. So, Madeline, you were up here at Langley a couple weeks ago. Saw you up here, spoke to you. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in racing and where you got to. I mean, how you got to where you are today.
Oh, well, I got started in racing when I was 10. My grandfather got me into it. I started out in the ventilator. I ran that for a little while, for about 3 or 4 years. Started out at Atlanta Motor Speedway, ran the quarter mile. We traveled around a little bit doing that, and then we jumped in the legend car for 2 years and traveled around doing that as well. So, yeah, we did those for about 5 years, and then we decided to do some dirt racing and get into a dirt late model. So we did that for about 2.5 seasons, and we're planning on to keep doing that. We haven't really been running much dirt lately, but so we just recently kind of got into the late models, and so we have a couple of races under our belt. But we decided to go, run that in Virginia. We went and ran at Shenandoah, and just recently ran there at Langley.
So Now, you also ran a truck at Eldora. Tell us about that experience.
Oh, yeah, we did. What was that, about a month and a half ago? So, yeah, in New Weston, Ohio. So that was really fun. My first time ever being in a truck, and it was just, I was really excited to do that was because I've been running dirt the past 2.5 seasons. So we went and ran the dirt race, and it just didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. But it was just a great experience being around all them guys, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Now, which do you like better, racing on the dirt or back on the asphalt with the late models on asphalt? Which do you?
I don't know. I like them both. They're just completely different, so can't really compare them. So I don't know. I love doing both of them.
So what has your schedule been like this year? As far as you've been running a little bit of both, but do you have any plans for the rest of the year, or what do you got for next year?
Well, we started off the season running dirt at Genoa, Georgia. So we haven't been doing that for the past 2 months. So we haven't been doing that for a while, and we ran a couple of late model stock races at Shenandoah, Virginia, and Brindley, Virginia. So I don't know. I don't think we really have anything planned for the rest of the year. We're about to sit down and start making our schedule for next year. So I know we're going to run some dirt races, and hopefully we'll have some asphalt races sprinkled in there somewhere. So.
How did you get involved with or get in touch with Sam? Didn't you drive for Sam Beatty at Langley?
Oh, yes, sir. I don't know. He's just one of our sponsors. He's a good friend of one of our sponsors, and he actually had one of our portfolios laying around, and I think he saw it and he wanted to help out. So I don't know. I think he got in touch with my stepdad, and they just talked for a while, and thought it'd be a good idea, to run a few races with him. He's a great guy. He's got some great race cars, so it's been really awesome to work with him.
So, Madeline, where did the number 78 come from?
That was my grandfather used to race, so that was his number. And when I got started, I either got to pick between the number 78 or the number 5. So I decided to go with my grandfather's number. So that's where that came from.
That's pretty cool.
Now, what did you think about Langley Speedway? Was that the first time you'd ever been here?
The first time I came there was I actually got invited to the NASCAR Diversity Combine last year. So
okay.
That was the first time I ever raced there. So it's a great track. It's probably the flattest track I've ever been on, but it's great.
Are you going back to the combine this year?
Hopefully we sent in an application, so hopefully we'll get to go back.
You had mentioned Sonoya. How long have you been racing out at Sonoya?
Sir? What was that?
You said that you had raced dirt at Sonoya down in Georgia. How long have you been racing down there?
Actually just this past season we've been running there. We started out running at Dixie Speedway in Woodstock, Georgia, and Rome Speedway in Rome, Georgia.
Well, I'm from Atlanta, and I used to race at Sonoya, but it was in the 90s, and it was asphalt back then.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gone back and forth quite a few times.
Okay.
And so you raced at Dixie. I know I've always wanted to go to Dixie Speedway to watch a race. That's got to be an experience to race there too, because that's kind of, well, it's not probably as prestigious as Eldora, but it's something big about Dixie Speedway.
Well, you get down to Georgia, it's just as prestigious as oh yeah.
It's a great track. We ran there for a little while, and I'd definitely love to go back there in Rome. Rome's one of my favorite dirt tracks.
So who do you go to for driving advice?
Really just whoever's coaching me. I ran with Doug Stevens for a while. I ran with him in living cars, and he's very experienced in those. He's one of the best. So. And I ran with him in the dirt late model, so I've gone to him for a lot of advice. And my stepdad, he grew up racing, and his dad grew up racing, so he knows dirt racing like the back of his hand. So he always has a lot of advice, and it's very, very helpful.
So who's the better driver then?
Who, me? Me with my stepdad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen never raced before. He has all these stories, but I've never seen him race. Well, actually, he raced the legend car, but he used to race a lot back in his day. But I don't know. He hadn't raced in several years, and he's going to see legend car races this past season.
Sounds like he's really old.
Not bad. Oh, he's not old. He's like, he just turned 36 Sunday.
36! Back in his day.
You just killed all of us.
Yeah, because we're all over 36, for sure.
Stagecoach racing.
It's been a long time since he used to race. I think he ended when he was in his young 20s. It's been a while.
All right, well, we're going to go with that. You made me feel really bad. You talking about him being old and 36, and I think I'm going to have to go get me some kind of walking cane or something. Get out of here.
Jack used to race the bucking boards back in Southampton.
All right, Madeline, I got a couple of questions for you. What's the CD in your car?
What's the what?
What CD do you have in your car?
CD?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what CD do you have in your car that you listen to? Like, so what's your favorite music?
Oh, well, I don't know. I listen to everything. I listen to a lot of country. I listen to a lot of pop. It just depends.
All right,
I don't really have one certain thing that I listen to.
So what's your favorite TV show growing up? Now that you're almost old.
My favorite TV show is Full House. Even though they don't play it anymore. I mean, they play it, but they don't make them anymore. But yeah, I watch that every night. So that's definitely one of my favorite TV shows.
All right. What's your favorite potato chips?
Potato chips?
Yeah.
The Lay's dill pickle.
Oh, okay.
They're good.
Yeah, a lot of people like those. Let's see. Let's do one more. What's your worst habit?
Biting my nails.
I can't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Do you bite your nails before a big race? I mean,
a little bit.
After the dirt race.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out to talk with us tonight, and hope you didn't mind the questions. And I'm sorry we're so old.
Y'all get me in trouble.
Hey, we're old. How we gonna get you in trouble?
I didn't mean he was old, but it's been a while since he used to race. But thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you taking time, and when you get yourself situated for as far as what you're going to do for next year, let us know, and we'll get you back on here so you can tell everybody what you're doing. Because
don't forget your sponsors.
Yeah, let us know about your sponsors.
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely like to thank my sponsors, AirTech, Atlanta Air Exchange, and Virgil Brown Associates, and a big thanks to St. Beauty for letting me come and run with them, and for all their hard work. So, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot for taking time to call in here or talk to us tonight, and we'll be hearing from you again real soon.
Best of
All
luck.
right, cool. Thank you, guys.
All right, best of luck to you. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye. I thought her stepdad was.
I was waiting for her to say he's about 57, 58 years old, and she said 36. Back in his day,
That was pretty funny.
you know, back in his day, we had had our days and was done moved on.
Hell,
I got socks older than that.
back in his day, I was just working on him. I didn't start driving until I was that age, 36. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
God, that was funny.
All right, well,
I wanted to talk to her more about Sonoa, but this was back in the 90s, and I didn't want to, her to say that I was that old.
Well, you're old.
God almighty.
You're really old. When
God.
she talks about.
If she thought
Kept saying back in his day.
If she thought her stepdad was old and he's 36, you as old as I don't know what.
How old is Natalie?
I think she was 18, wasn't she?
I don't remember. That was pretty funny though.
I'd heard they made it a dirt track. It was asphalt, but what was unique about it was, of course, on that Georgia clay. Mm-hmm. And I'd never seen this before, the pits. I'm like, what is this surface? You know? But there was Owens Corning was down the road down there making the shingles. Mm-hmm. And that little strip that they cut out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? That's what he put in the pits there. So you had this rubbery surface. Huh. And, of course, with the heat and stuff like that, it kind of molded and stuff like that. But that's what we worked on the cars on, was on top of that asphalt shingles. Huh. And it was cool. You'd have to see it to get it, but it was neat. But
wow.
Some great racing back there back in the day. And I guess they're having great racing with dirt, because dirt is big down in Georgia. Dixie Speedway, oh my God. Yeah.
I have heard so many times about Dixie Speedway, and I have never been there. Yeah. And I've always wanted to go, because they didn't have they had one big race there every year.
They have two big races there every year, and they have for the last 20-something years.
But at the end of the year, don't they have some super late models that come in there?
$10,000-$15,000 to win, and all the big boys from all across the country come to this race.
That's a lot of money for a team.
Yeah. I'd love to go down there and watch. I would love to go to Eldora. Yeah. And experience Eldora one time. I like.
What's the race that's in the building?
You're talking about
the sprint cars run on.
Yeah, that's
like several layers, and that's like all pits.
Yeah,
that's up Ohio.
No, that's out west. Shoot.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can even.
Is it Tulsa? Isn't it in Tulsa?
No, that doesn't sound familiar. Oh, well. That would be a neat place to go to too.
Well, I tell you what, Kelly Kent goes every year to that race out there, wherever it's at the indoors, the indoor sprint cars and stuff. She goes out there every year, and she has a blast with that. They think that's the greatest thing in the world. They say they get like 300 cars.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right, let's call Kevin Bellacourt and wish him a congratulations for winning his championship. We won't keep him too long. Then again.
Hello?
Mr. Bellacourt, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. This is Jack and Scott and Joe here tonight. And first of all, I, from a personal standpoint, really want to say congratulations on your championship. It was really yours and Williams' championship. I can't say it's all yours, but your team's championship.
I appreciate that. You broke up a little bit there, but I heard you congratulate me, and it was an unbelievably awesome experience getting to do that, and it was. I'm not saying that it wasn't more exciting for everybody else, and really, really, really exciting for us having to get down to the last race like that. But getting to race against Scott Hecker and Austin Hill for the championship, two incredibly good race car drivers and good race teams, it was made all of us better. And just you saw the performance the last 4 or 5 weeks out of all three teams and how good they all were. And it was extraordinarily nerve-wracking at Dover, especially with everything we had going on with the weather delays and no practice and everything. But it just made it that much more fulfilling getting it, and it's a pretty awesome feeling.
How tough was it to run a race and not have any practice, especially when you're trying to shore up a championship?
What was that? I'm sorry, but just a little bit on here.
How tough was it to run a race without having any practice and the added pressure of running for a championship, and this all comes down to this race?
Oh, it was extremely nerve-wracking. We sat there, and nothing worse than having all that downtime to sit and think about it, look at your notes, and wonder if you did the right things. And you just kind of got to rest on what you do every race. You go to the racetrack prepared. And all of us in Scott Motorsports with Justin Marks go to the racetrack prepared and ready to race every week, and with what we think is the best package that we have. And just at Dover, we had to really, 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 really put our faith in that. And it was absolutely nerve-wracking. I'd be lying to tell you that I second-guess things and want to change things and think that just wonder if it was right. And going into turn one, you just watch that car and you hope your travels are right and everything works good. And we're really fortunate. We have good notes to go off of, and I've got great crew chiefs working around me also, and we all put our heads together and come up with what we thought was the best package. And then the drivers did an outstanding job. I can't say enough about William and the position that he was in, being on the pole, leading the field to the green over a place like that. I mean, there's Cup guys that'll tell you how tough it is to get around that place. He didn't even second guess it. He trusted me and trusted this race team and just drove 100%, and we got the results we were looking for.
Now, did you change anything from the way you brung the car and showed up to the racetrack? Did you change anything before the race?
I made a couple minor changes, just concerns that I had about a green racetrack. I just wanted to take care of my right front tire. Just real small changes, just right front shock, and just minor things to try to make the tire last as long as I could. Just trying to be safe more than anything. I didn't want to put us in a position where we had a really good turn in race car, but it only turned until the right front tire blew.
Right.
and that wouldn't have been what we were shooting for. So I made a couple minor changes, yes, just based off the great racetrack. But then the Cup cars ended up getting on the track right before us and laying down a little bit of rubber, which just eased my mind at times because those big heavy Cup cars and that radial tire lay down rubber really, really quick, way quicker than our tire and our car does. So them getting on the racetrack, even though it was only for 20 minutes, made a big difference for us.
Now you said about the Cup cars being on the racetrack. When you go to a track that they're running on the day before, how much does that bother you guys running with different tires compared to y'all's tires and what the Cup cars are running?
It sort of depends on the racetrack and the tire that we're on. Dover is a very, very hard, durable tire for us, so it doesn't necessarily change the way the car drives. You go to Richmond and it reacts a little bit differently. You just kind of got to go to your notes and always try to keep track of what your car does reaction-wise to the radial rubber and just make a note of it, and hopefully you can go back to your notes and refresh your memory before you get in that situation. But at Dover, it wasn't a major deal. It was just a matter of tire wear more than anything because of the green racetrack being the concrete. It takes rubber really fast. But I look at Kentucky and being there for the ARCA race a couple weeks ago, there was a major difference there being on the Hoosier tire. When we went out after the Xfinity cars, the cars were completely different. So sometimes it just reacts differently, and you just kind of got to learn from experience in that one. And if it's a position you've never been in, you kind of got to lean on people that have been there. But everything reacts a little bit different usually with those radials.
Now, Scott and I watched you at VIR when we were up at VIR. You walked yourself silly that day. How many pair of tennis shoes do you go through?
I have that app on my phone that tells me how much I walked, and I think it was like 16 miles or something that day. I was definitely busy, but we had a lot of things going on. VIR is one of those weird places where you need 4 spotters, really, to help the driver as much as you can, but it's really only a good spot to put 3, so I kind of just went down to the end of pit road to help him get into turn 1, and then he'd get through turn 1, and I'd be able to give him back to my main spotter, Brandon, and he'd be able to take him back up to 2, and then my pit box was a good, as you guys saw, probably felt like a half a mile away, but probably only about 10 pit stalls. So I'd run back to the monitor and try to keep an eye on our lap times to give William as much information as I could, and then go back down to the spot. So my general manager, Mike Greasy, I was messing with him. I told him that if I had to spot, if I even had to say clear one time, I wanted a spotter paycheck too, but I'm still waiting on that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we were sitting in the media center, and I watched you go by, and I'd hit Scott, and I'd say, "There he goes again."
Yeah.
It was really funny. Now tell us about the celebration you had after the championship. I know y'all had a big time with that.
We did. We had a good time. I was very fortunate. I had my wife with me at Dover, so it was pretty cool to get to share that with her, and my mom was there. And then we ended up actually getting stuck in Dover for a little bit, not flying home till later that night. So I'm a really big Cooper Gator football fan too. So me and my wife and all my guys and a couple other guys went and watched the Florida football game and just had a good time and just enjoyed the moment. And it was really fun. We did have a good time. We're going to save a major celebration for December after the banquet, but we definitely had a good time.
All right, now the season's over and everything is said and done. What's next year look like for you and your team?
I'm not sure yet. It's so fresh. I mean, we're still enjoying the championship at this point. It's only Tuesday. I'm going to take it as long as I can to get to enjoy it. But as far as Scott Motorsports with Justin Marks, if it hasn't proven what it's capable of doing, I mean, we have 5 cars that run every week, and they can all finish in the top 6 in points. And the only car that was up there with us was Austin Hill, and he's an excellent race car driver and got a lot of experience. So to show how good this team is, it's not going anywhere. It's it's just as strong as it's ever been, obviously, if not stronger than it's ever been. The company's won the last 3 championships, and I know they want to come back and defend it next year. And there's no reason to think that they should. So, as for me personally, just not sure what I'll be doing. We'll be see. And like I said, I'm just enjoying this championship right now, and I'm going to do that for as long as everybody will let.
I don't blame you a bit. Well, Kevin, it really is. It's really great that you got this championship. I was pulling for you. I mean, I may not know you as well as some people, but I really keep up with you because of the time you spent with Lee over at the Wood Brothers and everything, and it was really big to see you win it.
Well, I appreciate that, and to make you feel any better, we have a shot pool for the championship and the Cup championship, and I didn't even hesitate taking that 24 car, so I think he's going to take it all the way to the end. So.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
I'm following Lee.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time. We weren't going to hold you long. We just wanted to say congratulations, and let us know what's going on for next year so we can keep up with you again.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
They did have an awesome season.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to run in the K&N series, you want to be in an H. Scott.
Oh yeah.
With Justin Marks' car for sure. I mean, those guys have dominated the series really, and it's got to be super gratifying for him to had been up to Cup and kind of had been knocked down, and to be here and be the crew chief and win a championship. That's got to be, feel like, I am doing the right thing. And congratulations to him. He's got a young, he's a young guy.
Yeah, he's really young.
He's got a young child now. Mm-hmm. And she's always, every race we've been to, she's been there. And just as nice as she could be.
Well, I had a long conversation with her at VIR. And, it's really, I mean, she's from a racing family. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, she knows about the racing situation. I don't know if you know ever heard of Randy McDonald. But that's Randy McDonald's daughter he's married to, and she knows her racing. I mean, stand there and talk to her. She knew what she was talking about.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, she can go with the best of them.
But anyway, all right. Before we end this show tonight, it's pick time.
Who picks first?
I picked first this week because I was dead last.
You were what?
Well, if 12th place is last, I'm, that's where I was. Okay, I'm not going.
Well, 4th place got you out of the chase, so.
Yeah, really. I mean, that is pretty.
Yeah, but 12th place got him in the chase. All right, I'm going to, with Charlotte being Charlotte and how things go there, I'm gonna take a little step out there a little bit, and I'm going Carl Edwards.
That's not a bad.
No.
It's not a bad.
I'm going Carl Edwards for the win there. Joe, it's on you because you finished second.
Yeah.
More ways than one last week.
He finished. Yeah, it's funny because he thought he won.
I know. Well, I saw that. I saw that Monday. I didn't see it on the weekend. I saw it Monday that you put on there. Who won?
He didn't reply to it though, did he?
No, I did not.
I was sitting there,
but I was like when he said I did number 4. I knew then what it was all about. So I said, "Ain't no need to mess with it."
I know. I got laughing. I'm like,
wait a minute.
I was like, yeah, I did. He thinks he won. Oh, that was pretty. That was a good laugh on Monday, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, more than one way.
What was going through your mind when you see my text after that? Because you knew after that.
I'm like, oh shoot, that joke's on me now.
Yeah, it was.
Jack wins again, and finished last. I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch. I don't know why. I just.
He's good there now. I mean, he can.
I know.
He is. I mean, Carl runs well there.
All right. Well, it's up to you now, Scott. And I'm waiting to hear this pick.
Well, I want to keep on the same train, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles he's putting down, boy.
Yeah, but you know what? I still think he's going to be.
I know.
He's going to be one to beat. But I think I'm going to go with Jimmy Johnson because I think after their ordeal last week, they usually bounce back really hard.
And I ain't heard from Clayton this week, so
Yeah, we need Clayton.
Well, he
Clayton
messaged me
picked
stuff
and-
earlier.
and Clayton picked Johnson last week.
Maybe that's why we haven't heard from
Yeah,
him.
it could be.
And if I was Clayton, I wouldn't want to talk to us either. But that's a shame. He did. When you hear this, I'm sure you're going to watch the show because you normally do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear this, go ahead and send me a text or send me something. Let me know who your pick is. Now Scott and I will be at Charlotte. We're going to Charlotte in case you didn't
Well,
know.
hey, I will be at the racetrack officiating one of our local venues now, okay?
Toot toot.
Yeah, that got me good there, didn't it?
So it's gonna be fun this weekend. We're going to Charlotte, Joe. We're going to Charlotte. It's gonna be fun to go to the race there. Langley's got their last race, and then the following week they're gonna have their day of destruction, which is a great event.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Martinsville this weekend also. It's going to be Sunday. So it's kind of an action-packed week for racing. Who is going to punch their ticket and get to the next round and not have to worry about Talladega?
Well, while we're on that, on our chase grids, this is the actual chase grid right here. But on our chase grid, Scott missed 2
Did I?
in the first round to move to this round. You had Jimmy Johnson and Clint Boyer, and of course we all know what happened to Clint, so he didn't make it. So he wouldn't have made it. You're already one down in the eliminator round. Joe is he missed 3. He had Menard, Boyer, and Johnson who didn't make it, and so he's got Johnson going all the way to the championship round. So he's one down all the way to the end. And I missed 2. I had Johnson and Boyer also. And I had Johnson going to the next round, but I did not have him in the championship. So I'm one down in the next round too. So it's pretty even between all of us pretty much how we picked this.
Yeah, I thought I was only out one, which was the Jimmy Johnson deal, which I don't think anybody would have predicted that.
No,
and I hated to see it, but
yeah, but
that's racing.
He took it pretty good. A lot better than I would have took it. Although he might have just been some relief that Kevin did win and he's not in, and he don't have to worry about any of that drama, because if Kevin didn't make it and I did, you would have to worry about that all.
Yeah, that's true. There could have been some payback there somewhere along the line. Anyway, well, we're off to Charlotte, and we'll see you guys next week on. We're going to Charlotte, Joe, just in case you didn't hear.
If everybody doesn't know, they're going to Charlotte. Right?
And if you want to go support the local track, go to Langley Speedway.
And you got to let us know what happened out at Langley. So keep up with things. Don't I know you're an official, and you're not supposed to.
Well, it's a couple championships. I don't remember exactly which one. I know the modifieds are running. They're going to crown a champion for that. And
I want to say
U-Cars.
No,
yes.
I thought Jesse already won the U-Cars.
Yeah, U-Cars are already done. Either street stock or grand stock. I forget which.
I thought it was grand stocks.
I think it's grand.
Yeah.
I think it's grand stock.
I think it's grand stock.
It ain't street stock because Duflexy's got that hands down.
Reno Marchetti's already won that.
Yeah, he won that in the middle of the season, I think.
Yeah, Reno won that. So, and it's really good that the modifieds had a couple weeks off before they had to race again.
Yes.
So maybe there may be some people who are
we parked a lot of cars.
cool down after that race.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to miss because I wanted to come out and see that last race. But
and the last
I'm going to Charlotte.
Always... Yeah, we're going to have fun in Charlotte, and we'll thank those guys for inviting us and letting us come to Charlotte.
It's really going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see Lenny when we get down there.
Yeah,
really
maybe Lenny will be dumb enough to let us on the show.
Yeah, we'd like to come on your show one time.
Well, guys, have fun and keep us posted. What's going on at the track?
Oh, I'm gonna break my selfie stick out.
No.
There'll be plenty of pictures of me and Jack. Stay tuned.
There'll be plenty of pictures.
I might be behind him.
What's really scary is I'm gonna be spending 3 days with him.
24/7, baby. 24/7.
Will the romance last?
Might have to get a divorce when we come back.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, we'll talk to you next week, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.